Wedding night, my wife was attacked in the bedroom. She screamed my name for help until her voice went hoarse. I stayed hidden in the study with the door locked, never showing myself. After the attacker left, my wife couldn't accept what had happened. She jumped out of the window and lost consciousness. Even when my in-laws knelt and begged me to tell the truth, I insisted I hadn't seen the attacker and refused to help with the investigation. 5 years later, my brother-in-law used his connections to drag me into court, where memory retrieval tech replayed the crime. When everyone saw the truth, they went crazy. 5 years after the wedding night assault, I was brought in as the only witness and a suspect, and the police interrogated me publicly. Technicians would use the latest memory retrieval tech to pull my memories and show them as images on a big screen, recreating the crime scene exactly. To see the truth, tens of thousands of people crowded around the trial, and the live stream drew an unprecedented 200 million viewers. On the judge's bench, Vincent, my brother-in-law, and the police captain spoke cold. "Bring in the eyewitness, Erickson!" The door opened and I walked out in a prison uniform with heavy shackles, escorted by the guards, my head lowered. I had only taken a few steps when people threw rotten eggs and vegetables at me, cursing loudly. "Coward! Your wife was attacked in front of you and you still dare to live! Your wife has been in a coma for 5 years, and the killer is still free, all because you wouldn't tell the truth. Is the killer your father? Is he really worth protecting? Did you make some dirty deal with the murderer? Sell out your wife for money or fame? You're worse than an animal." The insults grew worse, and some people even tried to break through the barrier to attack me. The bailiffs had to fire warning shots to keep order. As I reached the center of the courtroom, Vincent suddenly drove his knee hard into my stomach. Pain exploded through me, and blood dripped from my mouth as I collapsed to my knees. No one felt sorry for me. Instead, the crowd cheered. Vincent grabbed my hair, pulled his face close, and growled in my ear. "Erickson, when the truth comes out, you and that murderer will die miserably." His hatred was nothing like the bright, friendly young man who once called me brother-in-law when we first met. Below the platform, my in-laws looked much older, leaning on each other as they stared at me with hatred in their eyes. "Tasha loved you and gave you everything, yet you watched her suffer and still protected the killer, letting him go free. Erickson, you monster! You deserve to die!" When we discussed marriage, this well-educated couple never looked down on my poor background. They treated me like their own son and supported me in everything. After the incident, they didn't blame me at first. They understood I was scared and only encouraged me to tell the truth. But even when they knelt and begged, I stayed silent. For 5 years, I was locked up as a suspect and tortured by Vincent every day. Because of my terrible reputation, the prison ignored his abuse and even allowed him to use non-lethal methods if it meant getting the truth faster. No one expected that even when I nearly died many times, I still never gave in. Now, memory extraction was my only hope. Vincent shaved my head, then without any anesthesia, forced a 5-centimeter metal connector into my skull. I shook in pain and foamed at the mouth, but he ignored it and even refused the doctor's offer of a sedative. "This animal won't die so easily! I want him to watch the killer he's protecting get exposed in the most painful way!" At his command, the memory extraction started. The first scene appeared, a university library, coming into focus. I sat by the window reading. When I looked up, Tasha was tiptoeing to place a copy of The Little Prince beside me. In my memory, I touched her hair. She leaned on my shoulder and said softly, "After you graduate, let's rent a small place. I'll cook, you wash the dishes, and on weekends we'll go to the morning market together, okay?" The scene then shifted to a small rented room, its narrow kitchen filled with the smell of scallions. "Wash your hands. I got paid today and bought your favorite braised pork knuckle," I said as I hugged her from behind. "Beep! This fragment is marked as top priority memory," the cold mechanical voice said. The courtroom instantly stirred. "You beast! How dare you think of this? Tasha fought with her family to be with you and gave you everything, and this is how you repay her? Disgusting!"
Click the link in my bio to get the full story for free.